Hey y'all, my name is Chiante Jones, and I'm the founder of Dollars and Change. And I help mid-career professional women eliminate their credit card debt so they can have financial flexibility. And today I am talking about, are you making excuses about your money? And this is actually part two. I did part one last week where I was talking more about the difference between a reason and an excuse or just making excuses in general. This time, today, I'm going to be talking about a few excuses that I often hear about working with a financial coach or about money in general. So I wanted to talk through some of those to kind of debunk them a little bit and share my thoughts on them. So thank you for joining. And like I said, if you haven't watched part one, watch part one first, and then come back definitely and watch part two as well. So first excuse, and I'm gonna go ahead and jump right in. The first excuse that I often hear as a financial coach or from potential clients is, I'm too busy to budget, or I don't have time for financial coaching. So if you feel like you're too busy to budget or work with a financial coach, that is exactly the reason why you need to work with a financial coach. So since there are so many other things on your plate, it's easy to keep putting your money to the back burner, keep putting it off, and brushing it to the side. And you keep saying you're going to get to it, and you want to do better, but then you just never do. So there will always be something else to grab your attention or to focus on. You're driven, you're ambitious, you want to be involved in other things. You have other things you need to do. So you're going to have to make working on your money a priority. At some point, you got to do it. We're all busy. You just have to do it. You're just going to have to make that decision. Otherwise, time will continue to pass by, and you won't see the progress that you want to see with your finances. And I had one client a while back who, she was just a busybody, and she was always doing something, always involved in everything. So she was a mom of four. She worked full time. She was also served in the military, National Guard or Reserve or something. I can't even keep up with everything she was doing, but she was always doing a lot of stuff. And having set times to work with me was what she needed to make her money a priority. She needed the dedicated time and the structure and the accountability to focus on her finances. So she knew working with me would help her to commit to working on her money and to show up like she needed to. So that, like I said, a lot of times when time is an issue, actually having the structure and having the accountability is what will make the difference. And then, sometimes that's just what we have to do. Put guardrails on ourselves. Set ourselves up for success. And if you're not a money nerd like I am, finance is probably not the most exciting thing for you. You probably, or it may even be stressful to, sit down and look at your money. So, I totally get that. But as you start seeing progress and also start building up better habits, I promise it won't be that bad. You'll get used to it. You'll start doing it, and you'll get even more excited about looking at it when you start seeing that progress happen. So you know what? Do what you can to make it fun. Grab a glass of wine, turn on some music. Really taking care of your money, and working on your money is a form of self-care. It's really you taking care of future you. So make the time to do what you need to do now so you can live the way you want to live later. Okay, you're just gonna have to make that commitment and do it. So like I said, if you've been struggling to make time on your own or get started, financial coaching may be exactly what you need to take that next step. Okay. So excuse number 2. All right. I don't have the money, or I can't afford it. So affordability. Y'all, I hear this all the time. This one comes up a lot. And this, affordability and being able to afford something, it's really well, in the case of financial coaching, it's a mindset and prioritization issue. People will find the money for what they want. Financial coaching is an investment. So I'm not going to lie, it's an investment. And I want to make that distinction because it's a distinction from an expense. So when you make an investment of something, you should expect to see a return. And that can be a monetary return or a non-monetary return. It can be something that's tangible or not tangible. So yes, I can calculate for you how much interest you'll save by paying off a credit card faster. Yes, that's a monetary gain. So you will have monetary benefits from it. You know, I can help you accelerate that process. But having the clarity and confidence of a personalized financial plan for yourself to actually make that happen is another thing. Learning the management skills, the money management skills that you can use for the rest of your life, and then teach your kids or teach other family members or friends, or having the peace of mind and the financial flexibility to choose what you want to do and how you want to live. Y'all, that is priceless. That's invaluable. And that's a return that you just can't put a price on. And it has ripple effects that just keeps going out. So, yes, so like I said, when I say financial coaching is an investment, it is because you will get a return on it, both monetary and otherwise. And with my clients, a lot of times it's like I said, it's not affordability. It's about prioritizing. So you may have to make some adjustments and do some shifting around with your finances to be able to pay for the financial coaching. But keep in mind, this is a short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain. And I've also found that we can get in the habit of saying that we can't afford something when it's really not true. And again, that's mindset and prioritization. So saying, I can't afford to travel, but then you're eating out every day. Or saying you can't afford something when you get your hair, nails, and lashes done every other week, right? So listen, that may be fine for if that's what you want to do, but don't say you can't afford some other things. The truth is you're prioritizing and choosing, eating out or getting your hair done every week instead of traveling or financial coaching or whatever else. It's all about choices. So the truth is, if you say you want to pay off your credit card debt or have more financial flexibility, you have to decide what you're willing to do to get it. Okay, like I said, short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. And so most of the time when I hear this from I can't afford it from a potential client, it's typically an excuse. And there are some cases where, the money really isn't there at that time. But you still have to question how bad they really want it or whether it's a change they're really looking to see. Because typically, if you really want to change something, you will do what you need to do to solve that problem and get the transformation you're seeking. So, like I said, a lot of times it's an excuse. It can be a real thing, but typically for the clientele that I serve, it's a matter of prioritizing and shifting things around. Okay. The other thing to think about is the cost of inaction. So how much is it costing you to keep waiting to make the changes to your finances? And how much is it costing you to not be living the life you want? And how much is it costing you to continue to carry that debt? And that's literally in interest, but also in other things like stress or your health or your relationships or just having those options. So when you think about making a decision, think about not only the cost to do something, but also the cost of not doing it, the cost of inaction. Okay. So excuse number 3. This one is, my situation is too bad or it won't work for me. And so, so some people may look at me and say, oh, well, see that I paid off my debt and just for whatever reason feel like they can't do it or whatever else, or their situation is so much different than mine, so everybody's situation is different. And you may think that your situation is too bad or for whatever reason you can't do it or it won't work for you. And we all have different starting points, y'all. So, you can be married or single. You have more income, you can have more debt, kids, no kids. Everybody's situation is different. Everybody's journey is different. But there are also commonalities and some things that same principles apply to everyone, okay? And you just have to start from where you are. So a lot of times if you talk to somebody who's married, they say, well, so-and-so single, and, then they're using their spouse as an excuse of why they can't do something or they won't get on board or whatever else. You talk to somebody who's single, and they talk about how, oh, well, they have 2 incomes. If I had a partner, then blah, 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 right? But like I said, you can always try to view the other side as being greener, but just focus on where you are and what you can do in your current situation, because everybody has a different starting point. So you just have to start where you are. That's it is. And wherever you are, I promise you'll see progress. So just work on seeing progress. The point is to have progress over perfection, right? So just start where you are with what you have and do what you can do. Um, and there's always room to grow, and there's always room to learn, and there's always room to do better. You know, including myself. I'm proud of the progress that I've made. I actually did a post yesterday where I hit the highest credit score I've ever had. I think it was 833. But you know, there's still room for me to improve, room for me to learn, room for me to do different things. And so, you know, and where I am now, I've been able to do this over the course of many years. I've been, you know, on this journey a long time, and I'm still on the journey. The whole thing is though, you have to start. You have to start somewhere. And I also want to point out, don't, when it comes to saying your situation is too bad or something won't work for you, don't make a fear-based decision not to do anything. So you could be worried about failing, or if you can do it, if you know, if you have the discipline or whatever, or you're worried about someone being in your business. You know, I know it's, you know, money is a very personal thing, and so, you know, just working with somebody could be kind of daunting to you. But you know, I'm not here to judge. You know, I've made some good decisions with my money over the years, but I have not done everything perfect. So I'm not in a place to judge anybody. And money is only one area of life, right? So I mean, there's other things that I struggle with myself, right? So, but I didn't do everything right. I'm not here to judge. I've just learned a lot of things along the way, and some, like I said, this kind of comes natural to me. So I want to be able to help others learn and share with others what I've learned and help them get to where they want to be with their money. So, your situation, maybe it is bad, maybe it's not, but it's not going to get better until you do something about it. You know, so there's always progress to be made. So just keep that in mind. All right, so those are my 3 excuses I wanted to talk through today. It was, you know, I'm too busy to budget, or you don't have the time, I don't have the money, or I can't afford it, my situation is too bad, or you feel like it won't work for you. You can always make progress. If time is an issue, you need the structure, you need the accountability. If you feel like you can't afford it, yes, you may need to make some sacrifices and make some adjustments and make the investment, not the expense, the investment in financial coaching. Your situation, what, you know, however bad it is, you can move forward and you can make progress. And working with a coach will help to do that. Work with me in particular. So if you have any questions, if you want more information, want to talk at all, consultations are free, no obligation. I do have some openings for coaching right now. So reach out and, you know, move forward. Don't stay where you are. But have a good weekend, and thank y'all for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Yeah.